snorting it. Yeah, snorting it.
So when did you reach that point of, okay, I need help. I'm ready to change my life, and I'm ready to recover.
Well, heroin. Well, I used that. I was addicted to that for about 2 years. I will definitely say that took me out very quickly. Because remember, I said my addiction, the journey was 13 years. Only 2 of it, the end of that journey, was heroin. So now I'm behaving differently. Like, I've completely isolated from everybody. I'm literally like, if you don't use it, you get sick. So every move I make is really in anticipation for getting the next one.
Okay.
And so the sickness, but again, because I'm not thinking rationally, stop using it was a thought, but I would get so sick, I didn't have a choice, if that made sense. So now, like, my life is just in complete disarray. The person that I was dating is now in prison, but I'm still left with this addiction. And right before I got clean, I think that's when fentanyl, like, really just started to hit. There were times when I would wake up after hours just out. It's really just by the grace of God that I'm still here, honestly, because there's no, we have Narcan. I couldn't Narcan myself. I don't even know if Narcan was out then, but it probably was, and I didn't know about it. But now I'm just I feel so hopeless, because I did make efforts to try to get help. I went to detox several times, and every time I would go to detox, as a result of that, DUI. So I'm in this relationship. The relationship is so terrible. I go to court and I tell the judge I used heroin. And they like, what? You did? You did what? Like, and I really just wanted them to, like, put me in, getting me away from this situation. Thank God they did, though. Like, so they locked me up for a couple of days, and then they ordered me to go to IOP. And so when IOP is intensive outpatient. So I would go for like 3 hours a day, 3 times a week. But I would go home. But I'm still in this relationship, which is horrible, because both of us are using, right? And so, while I'm in IOP, I'm not really connecting with the people that are in here with me, because I'm like, well, I didn't do that. Or, I really didn't connect that I had a problem. I knew I had a problem, but I didn't really realize or understand how big the problem was. So finally what happened was my nail tech had noticed, some of the scars that I had, and I would say stuff like, I smashed my hand in the door. I would just make up stuff. And she had this, a friend of hers talk to me who had just been through what I had, through recovery. And so I ended up opening up to her and getting honest with her about what was going on with me. Okay. And so she helped me get into my first treatment center. And so I went to detox, went to treatment, and I got kicked out the first week because I had a cell phone. Oh. Yeah, I had a cell phone. I couldn't disconnect. I didn't want to disconnect from the world, right? Because I'm still, I got to make my money. I got all, I got stuff I need to take care of. So I snuck a phone in there, and they were like, well, if you tell the truth, you can stay. Well, I didn't want to stay no way. So they kicked me out. Like, for about 2 years, I was hiding at my house. They didn't even bother to come get me, because they knew the addiction was gonna bring me back anyway. So, they like, we ain't even about to go knock on this child door, because she'll be back. But it's really a lot to tell in a 15-minute span, this short period of time. But I can honestly say that when I realized that I wanted to get some help, this was the final straw for me. I remember waking up and thinking I was dead. Okay. And when I realized that I wasn't dead, when I opened my eyes and, like, my TV, because I had this, like, 55-inch TV. I had a nice house, lived in, suburb, and when I looked around, I was just like, and it wasn't that I wanted to kill myself. I just didn't want to live that way anymore. I was just so sick of me. I had just got to the point where I was just so sick of me. And a friend of mine actually had heard about what was going on with me and had been praying for me. And One day something just led her to my house, and she knocked on my door, and I tried to act like I was I don't know what, I can't remember if I act like I was in the shower or about to leave or something, and she came in and she just looked me dead, like she gave me this like stare, and I just collapsed in her arms and just broke down. And she was like, Tina, you can do this. I know you. And she said that, and she shared this story with me about a lady who was a heroin addict who is now a professor at Ohio University. And when she said, we talked about it later, she said when she shared that story with me, she said my eyes lit up. And really what she did was ultimately bring me hope, because I was hopeless. I was literally, and that's what, when you're in a hopeless state of mind, it's like you're out of answers. I didn't know how I got here. How did this happen to me? You know what I mean? And I know how it happened, of course, because I picked it up, but I never saw this happening to me. I had this belief that I could control it, and so that is when I was just like, but even before that, like I had been praying, like I couldn't really pray for real, but I was just like, God help me. I would just say stuff like, God just help me, because my mother, who thank God for praying mamas, she would pray, oh my God, she would come over there and act like she was cleaning up, but she really was praying for me. And she left a Bible, and I opened up the Bible, and I was sitting there trying to read it. And by this point, I'm so empty inside. I'm literally like the Walking Dead. And I read the Bible, and I thought like something was going to happen, like, oh, and I was going to be cured or something. I don't know what I was thinking, but
God was just
I just cried out to God. I was like, God, help me. I don't know what to do, And so when she came and told me that story, she encouraged me to try one more time. And so I did, and that was the beginning of my recovery. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, your story is just so amazing, and just bringing hope to those who feel they are hopeless and cannot beat the disease.
Yeah.
You are giving them a positive like outcome of, if you do the work, you can you can recover.
Yes, because, and I think hopeless, you really do need to really do need to get to a state of hopelessness, because hopelessness is, I'm out of ideas. The first few times I went to get help, I still had some ideas. I'm gonna go get this, go to treatment. I'm gonna get this done so I can get courts off my back. It was always I still had ideas. I got to keep making my money. I got, you literally have to I had to get to the point where I had to let go of everything that I thought I knew about life, because at this point, I'm knocking on death's door. Death ain't knocking on my door. I'm knocking on it. And I knew the next step was death. I just didn't know how to get myself, I didn't know what to do next. But I will say this, I believe that once we are willing and ready, God will send someone to speak to you.
Oh yeah.
And that's what happened for me, because I actually had a friend who lived in a completely another state that I had never met before, that was in recovery, and he would call me every day and check on me. And he was in recovery, and so I had several people that were kind of trying to help guide me through the process. But like I said, opiates, heroin especially, like it literally hijacks your brain. So I would have moments of clarity, but as soon as I would use it, that would go out the window, and so I was trying to get back into detox. Now I've been to probably about 4 or 5 of them. So back then, when I was trying to get in there, like if you had been there within a certain period of time, you couldn't come back. You had to wait. And so I finally tried the last place that I had went to, and I was on, like, kept calling. They didn't have a bed. But I remember after I said that prayer, like, God help me, the next day or a couple days later, I got a call to go. And my mother came over to get me, she was like, get ready. And then right before I was about to go, they said I was too late because my appointment, I think, was like 11 o'clock, and I was running late. Of course, you know, I got all this stuff I'm trying to do. And they said, well, it's too late. My mama said the devil is a lie, and she took me anyway, and they took me in. When they laid eyes on me, I think that they knew, like, if this girl go back out here, she gonna die, you know. But it really is. It feels, when I look back, it's just like a miracle how, you know, once I surrendered and in my heart, like, really wanted to get help, that's when the people started showing up. And I just had to just put one foot in front of the other and just trust the process. And it was scary because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know about treatment or, you know, how do you even navigate that process, you know? So all of that was scary. Like, I thought I had to get my hair done before I went. And one time I was supposed to go to treatment, I ain't go because I'm like, I got to get my hair done. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You know, and I'm imagining something like I'm locked up and I can't, you know what I mean? And so living this life of freedom, right? And it's like, who wants to go be locked up somewhere? Nobody. You know, and so I kept procrastinating and finding reasons not to go. Or I want to go get it done quick. But this wasn't a quick process. Actually, after I completed treatment, I was in sober living for 2 years before I even stepped foot back into, like, you know, living on my own. So it really was a process of not just not using drugs, because once the substance was out, once heroin was out of my system, alcohol, whatever the substance is, once it's out of my system, it's not about the drug anymore. Now it's about my thinking.
Right.
You see what I mean? So if I don't know anything different, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to the same place that I lived, around the same people that I've been around. And guess what? Our minds are very powerful. So it's like, soon as I sit in that one chair that I used to use in, my mind is like, that thought comes, and I have no defense, no power to stop it. I don't know what to do. So what do? I do exactly what I've always done. It's no different than, you know, smoking cigarettes. You know, if you smoke cigarettes, you ain't gonna, or if you quit smoking cigarettes, you're not gonna go stand out, you know, at the lunch break with everybody who outside smoking.
Right, definitely not. Right,
you're gonna remove yourself, and so it takes a lot of strength to do that, because everything in you is saying, you do this again, you know, just one more time, you know. And so a lot of people don't make it because that one more time is the last time, you know, especially when you're clean and then you go back. That's the most dangerous. That's when you're at risk for overdose the most, when you get clean. So once I left detox, I'm as clean as anybody who never used, right? So why can't I just go on and live my life? Because now it's about my thinking. Because in this process of me using, right, my thinking is starting to, like, become abnormal. Things that seem normal are not normal to me anymore. You know what I mean? So
that's deep. But no, listen, no, I want to stop you there, because I want to, you know, invite you back, and you know, we just talk some more about just your road to recovery. And you know, I'm blessed to know you, and you are you're just like, you are a walking miracle, and you're just a positive, like, just a positive light. So again, you know, thanks for just coming and giving us a few moments of your time so we can discuss this. And yeah, guys, so just stay tuned. This is not the last time you will be seeing Tina. She will definitely be coming back, and we'll be talking more about her story and you know, just ways that she helps those out there who are struggling to get back, you know, on the right path, so they can make the rest of their life the best of their life. So till next time, we're out.